Hey everybody, this is the Semester 1 Grammar Quiz Review video. This grammar quiz is going to specifically test you over the conjugations for ir, ser, and tener, which we learned first semester. Okay, so the grammar quiz format is the same as it was last semester. There are 5 fill-in-the-blank questions. You will be conjugating words from a word bank, so make sure you have memorized the conjugations for those verbs ir, ser, and tener. You will choose the word from the word bank that best completes the sentence and conjugate it. Don't forget to conjugate. Do not just put the word from the word bank. All right, and to show you an example, here's our word bank, ir, ser, and tener. And here is a practice question for us. Yo blank a correr esta tarde. So you want to look at the context, try to figure out what's going on here, figure out which verb you need, and then you'll find the subject and conjugate for that subject. So this sentence says, I something to run this afternoon. So we can look at our options. We have go, we have be, and we have. The best option would be I'm going to run. Remember that we use ir with a lot of times when there's an infinitive, so you can see that there with correr. So for this particular sentence, we're going to do the yo form of ir. So you ask yourself, what's the yo form of ir? And remember, it is voy, so we say yo voy a correr esta tarde. I'm going to run this afternoon, and that would be the correct answer. So you can see there, I did not just put the word from the word bank. I did not put ir, because I don't want to say I to go. I want to say I'm going. That's why we put voy. All right, so we're going to review each one of those verbs individually, and then I'm going to do one more little practice at the end with you guys. So ir means to go. This is probably our most recent verb. We finished this one up at the end of last semester. And here's its conjugation. It is an irregular verb, which means it doesn't follow the regular rules for conjugating AR, ER, and IR verbs. So that's its conjugation. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, and van. Remember, the V kind of sounds a little like a B. And there's some little notes on this conjugation clips. That's why I snipped this one for you, but the yo form is V-O-Y, but the rest of it is the letter V with the AR endings. So if you've been having trouble memorizing that, but you were able to memorize your AR endings, maybe that little hint will help you out. All right, so while we're here, remember that a means to, okay? And we learned back in our very last unit that ir, a plus infinitive is what we use to say what we're going to do, okay? So in our note here, ir is commonly used with a, since we often say places we're going and things we're going to do. So the things we're going to do part, that was the ir, a infinitive. But remember, we can also say just like I'm going to the store, yo voy al mercado, or something like that. So you can still use a with voy. All right, and here's a couple of examples for you. So the first one says, ellos van al banco. They are going to the bank. So remember that a has to turn into al if it's going to be in front of something masculine. So a can't be next to el. We push that together and make it into al. So if you forgot that, kind of refresh your memory there. The other sentence here says, Jose va a correr en el parque. Jose is going to run in the park. And you see that ir, a infinitive form there. So va, that's the ir part. It's been conjugated, the word a, and then correr. Remember, infinitives are not conjugated. So that's 2 examples of using ir that we have learned. So let's do a couple of practice ones here. Take a look at número 1. La muchacha blank al hospital. I wanted to say the girl is going to the hospital. So we need to find our subject so we can choose the correct form. Remember that the subject is the person doing the action. This would be the person going to the hospital. And you can see there that it's la muchacha, the girl. So then we just have to ask ourselves, what pronoun is that? It would be ella, and the ella form is always the third one down. I don't have pronouns here with this conjugation, but the third one down we can see is va. So for this first one, it would be la muchacha va al hospital. She is going to the hospital. Okay, número 2, ellas blank a la tienda de ropa. I'm saying they are going to the clothing store. So for this one, our subject is ellas. We know that subject pronoun. We know it goes with the very last third person box on the right side. So ellas will go with van. So for this blank, ellas van a la tienda de ropa. And that's it. So those are a couple of examples there for you with ir. All right, now let's look at ser. So remember that ser means to be. We also learned that estar means to be. So be very careful, don't confuse the two. Here is the conjugation for ser. Yo goes with soy, tú eres, usted, él, and ella all go with es. Nosotros somos, vosotros sois, and then ellas, ellas, and ustedes go with son. And we have been working with this verb probably the longest. It was our very first verb that we learned. So hopefully you've got this one down, but it is a tricky one because it is irregular. So you can see there that some start with S, some start with E. You got to have this one memorized, okay? And we talked about the difference between this and S star. So these are the uses for ser, day and date, origin, characteristics, time, occupation, relationship, and ownership. So on this particular quiz, you don't have to worry about S star, but you will have ir and tener. So if you know your uses here, that will help you a little bit trying to figure out when to use ser. Right, and just like before, I have some practice ones here, and I tried to pull in some of the uses here so they weren't all the same. So take a look at numero uno. Hoy blank el 5 de mayo. So remember that hoy means today. I wanted to say today is 5 de mayo. Remember that we talked about in class that sometimes you're going to have a subject that's kind of like it, like in this case today would be like it, and that's going to be the third person form, so it's going to be es. Okay, so just like he and she, it would go there as well for singular. So hoy es el 5 de mayo. Número dos, ellas blank maestras. For this one, again, we're going to look for our subject. Our subject is going to be in the front usually, so ellas is the subject. So for this one, we should say ellas son maestras. They are teachers. And if we look at our uses there, occupation is used with ser, so that's why we're using son. All right, and then one more, de donde blank to. This was one of the questions we memorized way a long time ago. So remember that donde means where, it's one of our question words, and de means from. So we're trying to say, where are you from? This time, because we have a question, our subject is actually going to come after the verb. So you see there at the end of our sentence the word to, and that's because in questions, those subjects come after the verb. So we're still doing the to form. We need the word eres to go there. And our question is, de donde eres tú? Okay, and tú is really understood, so we could drop it, but just so you would know which one to choose for this particular sentence, I left the to in there for you. All right, and that's ser. All right, so our last verb is tener. It means to have. We worked with Tango for quite some time, and then we added the rest of the conjugation towards the end of the semester. So remember that this is a weird verb. It has Tango with the G in it on the yo form. Then it's got some IEs going on with to, L, and AOS form. And then nosotros and vosotros work like a normal ER verb. So make sure you're paying attention to the irregularities of tener. Make sure, again, you've got this one memorized. All right, and remember that tener does mean to have, but we also use tener to express age. So for example, yo tengo 15 años, I'm 15 years old, okay, would be the translation, but literally it translates to I have 15 years. So it sounds a little weird, but that's how we do that in Spanish. All right, and I have a couple for us to practice. So ellos blank un perro. I want to say they have a dog. So our subject here is ellos, because they are the one doing the having. All right, so the ellos form is tienen. So we would put tienen on the blank. Ellos tienen un perro. And then the second one says tú blank 16 años. Here's an example of that age we just talked about. So this time, the to form, we need tienes. Tú tienes 16 años. You are 16 years old. And that's it. That's tener. All right, so we've gone over all three of them individually. So now we're going to try putting it back together with a word bank and no conjugations. So if you want, pause the video, do the practice, and then you can click play and hear me go over the answers with you. All right, so here's our word bank, ir, ser, and tener, of course, and here's our sentences. So this time we don't just know it's going to be one of those verbs, we have to look at the context of the sentence. So look at numero uno. Yo blank a tocar el piano. I something to play the piano. My options are go, be, have. Okay, so the best option would be I'm going to play the piano. We also see that word a, which we know comes with ir a lot of the time. So that's another clue for you on ir. So once I figure out it's ir, I need the yo form of that verb. And the yo form of ir is voy. All right, and there it is. Yo voy a tocar el piano. I'm going to play the piano. Número dos, nosotros blank inteligentes. We something intelligent. Okay, so we've got go, we've got be, we've got have. Remember that we use ser when we're describing ourselves, so that's the correct answer because it's going to translate to we are intelligent. Okay, so we have to conjugate it. We can't just put ser or we're saying we to be intelligent. So if we conjugate ser for the nosotros form, we get somos, and that's our answer. Nosotros somos inteligentes. All right, and then our last one, mi madre blank cinco hijos. My mother something 5 children or 5 sons. So for this one, it would make sense to say my mother has 5 children. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do tener. We got to think about mi madre. Remember, that's not on your chart. That's not a pronoun. So we need to think, what would we replace mi madre with? My mother would be replaced with she. The word for she is ella. The ella form is tiene. Mi madre tiene 5 hijos. My mother has 5 children. All right, and that's it. That's what you're doing on that quiz. So if you know all 3 of the conjugations very well and you know your vocab, you're going to be just fine. All right, if you feel like you need some more practice, please make sure to attend the live sessions this week. You've also got in the OHS your semester 1 grammar review. So all the verbs are there. There's practice, there's videos, there's all kind of stuff that can help you review this material. All right, and then last but not least, you can always request a learner conference to meet with your teacher one-on-one. So if you do have any questions, please make sure to reach out to your teacher. Thanks, guys.